Hello, and thanks for tuning in with Stargazing in the City for a tour of the moon. This is the half full moon. South is to the right, east is to the top, and north is on the left side of the image. As you can see, the eastern side has many dark patches we call seas or mare in Latin, and we'll take a tour of the 5 most prominent seas on the eastern side. And we'll start with Mare Nectaris, or the Sea of Nectar, followed by Mare Fecunditatis, or the Sea of Fertility, and then onwards to Mare Tranquilitatis, or Sea of Tranquility, Mare Serenitatis, or Sea of Serenity, and we'll end with Mare Crisium, or the Sea of Crisis. We'll take a closer look at the details around these seas, starting with the Sea of Nectar. This is the Sea of Nectar in more detail, which is the dark patch in the center. What's striking is this large crack in the surface of the moon south of this sea, which is called the Rupes Altae. It starts at a small crater called Piccolomini and moves west and north along 3 striking craters called Katharina, Cyrillus and Theophilus. Especially Theophilus is nice to see to the west of the sea, because it has this large mountain range in the center of the crater floor. Centering in on Tio Phyllis, it's clear that there is a mountain range in the center consisting of 3 to 4 mountain tops. These were formed when an object hit the surface of the moon, which melted the floor and rose up, which then cooled down, leaving these mountains behind, which rise up 4,000 feet from the crater basin. Tio Phyllis is younger than Cyrillus and Katharina, but still close to 2 billion years old. The next stop on our tour is the Sea of Fertility. Striking are the many grey stripes crisscrossing the basin of the sea. When large objects hit the moon billions of years ago, they made these craters. The impacts threw up big clouds of dust which landed on the floor. Many of the craters here show these rays, such as Langrenus to the east. But most striking are the bright craters to the south around crater Stephanus. These are just as old as the famous crater Tycho. Here is a close-up view of crater Stephanus and its surroundings. The bright areas are not from crater Stephanus itself, but from Stephanus A and Venerius A. The white material is actually young material. The dark patches on the moon, such as the seas, are much older and are old lava plains. The next stop is the Sea of Tranquility. This is the most prominent sea on the eastern side, due to its darker and somewhat bluer color compared to the other seas. It's quite a famous sea, because it's also the spot where the Apollo 11 mission landed. The landing place is somewhere in the southeast, roughly, well, here. Striking is also this very bright crater here, the many different colored patches, and a very sharp transition between the Mare Tranquility to the east and Mare Serenity to the west, which is much more brown in color. When looking at the Sea of Serenity, the red-brown color becomes very clear. To the north there are 2 sharp craters called Eudoxus and Aristoteles. To the west are 2 high mountain ranges separating the Sea of Serenity from the Sea of Rains to the west. Looking at these mountain ranges, we can see the Apennines to the left and the Caucasus to the right. These are 3 kilometers high, which is why they cast these sharp shadows on the surface of the moon. Our final stop on this tour is the Sea of Crisis. The sea is 4 billion years old and about 600 kilometers or about 400 miles wide. The bright crater close to us is called crater Proclus and is about 15 miles wide. The strange shape of the wide rays of dust emanating from this crater indicate that the object that hit the surface of the moon to create the crater hit the surface on a very small angle. This is the end of our tour of the eastern seas of the moon. I thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the tour, learned something, but most importantly that it inspired you to take a closer look at the moon yourself. If you want to keep up to date on my adventures in space, please subscribe to this channel. If you have any questions or remarks about this video, just leave them below and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Thanks again for watching.